don't hate me because I'm beautiful, nigga. Maybe if you got rid of that yee ass haircut you got, you get some bitches on your dick.
Oh man. So I just saw some troubling news that said GTA 6 is possibly going to be delayed until early to mid 2026, and then for PC players, it's going to be 12 to 18 months after it releases on console, which is absolutely insane. This tweet on the screen is from a guy named Liam, and he's a mod for Los Santos Heist, and he also works for GTA Base, which is a website that covers all things Rockstar games. Now, this information isn't directly from Rockstar themselves, so it may not be true, but looking at who it's from, it just might be valid, honestly. And after seeing this news, it really has me questioning if the video game industry is dying as a result of game delays. I don't know about y'all, but I'm sick and tired of game companies dropping trailers or even just like announcements years ahead of the release of a game, just for it to get delayed 9 months down the road. We've seen it time and time again with games like Cyberpunk 2077, Fallout 76, and the Suicide Squad game. They announce it way too early, things don't go as planned, and they have to go back on their promise. There's literally no positives with this kind of a marketing strategy. It only adds stress to the game devs that are already super stressed out, and it just pisses off fans. And they keep doing this shit. The movie industry is also very notorious for doing this shit, and it's just as frustrating. Delays in game development have always been present in the gaming industry. They're often really needed in order to deal with development issues, and honestly sometimes shit just happens and devs have to redirect and find solutions for unforeseen issues. I'm all for delays despite how I just bitched about them before. I would much rather wait to play a game that's polished and pristine than get a game like Cyberpunk 2077 when it first released. While they did clean up the game and it's amazing now, this game should have been like that from the get-go. Even though I just said delays are a very necessary thing and common thing in the gaming industry, they do still have some negative impacts on the game developers like I said before. Delays often result in game developers being put on the hot seat and work like some damn slaves. I will always be a hater of crunch culture because it just feeds into the capitalist corporate machine, so I really hate dumbass tweets like this. Yeah, it's a joke, but there's niggas that are actually thinking like that. These folks have families and lives outside of work, and they're also most likely not being paid enough to deal with all the stress of this shit, so it just makes me even more angry. I have a lot of empathy and love for game devs because they really go through a lot, and they do it for the love of the game pretty much. Sometimes the games are really worth the wait and all the delays, and we get games like Red Dead 2 and Breath of the Wild, but more often than not, we've gotten games that launch with game-breaking bugs, underdeveloped stories, and horrible gameplay loops. And like, I really don't want to be one of them niggas that's like, oh, the gaming industry's dying and all the games releasing are horrible, but there's definitely a cancer that's slowly been growing over the past decade. Now that I've been able to like get my thoughts down on paper and just like speak it out, I'm coming to the conclusion that it's not the delays themselves that are killing the gaming industry. It's the fact that video games are being rushed to such an extent that they can't be developed properly, which then causes the delays. And this is a problem that could easily be avoided if game companies simply didn't set hard deadlines and build up hype way too early for games that they know people love and want. And in my honest opinion, I think in most cases people really aren't even thinking about these games releasing because there's already games out that have their attention. But when they're just dangling it in our faces, why wouldn't we open our mouths and stick it in? Like, you can't blame us for getting overly excited and then upset whenever you disappoint us. You did this shit to us. Rockstar released a trailer for GTA 6 and they intentionally made it a spectacle. It was such a great trailer, man. Like, they had everybody licking their chops thinking they were going to get some good shit, thinking we were going to have some good food coming in. They had everybody thinking that they're going to get the game that they've been wanting for decades at this point. Now, when I first saw the trailer, I was excited. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I saw some thick booty bitches shaking ass on a goddamn car. How could I not get excited for that? But I am a cynical asshole and I didn't trust that 2025 release window because it just sounded too good to be true. Now, the reason why I felt that way is because Rockstar is notorious for delaying projects, and they also bailed on Red Dead Online to continue pumping content into GTA Online, so I really had no confidence in these niggas. I can't quite wrap my head around why companies like Rockstar continue to rush their projects, because if they give their people enough time to actually work and put love and care into their products, they'll make so much more money and have less of a chance of having to do a refund when people don't want the shitty ass game that they released. And that's what happened to Cyberpunk. That's what happened with fucking Concord. That happened recently. They had to shut the whole game down. And as a result of that, Sony's taking hits in their fucking stock. When companies rush their projects, you can almost guarantee that they're going to have at the very least 2 or 3 delays. And this really affects their bottom line. All those marketing dollars go straight down the drain, the hype dies down, and pre-orders get canceled. So again, why the fuck are they doing this? And the answer, of course, is corporate greed, capitalism, all that shit. But it still just makes no sense why they continue to run through this cycle over and over and over again, after seeing so many examples of why you just shouldn't do this shit. So now we're going back to the question I asked at the beginning of the video. Are video game delays killing the video game industry? And I already said my answers to this, but I kind of want to re-emphasize it because it's really important. Delays are not the problem, it's the way that they're being handled and the reasons why they're even happening in the first place. Greedy ass corporate niggas want everything right now, right away, really fast. If I could have like a one-on-one with somebody from one of these gaming companies, I would tell them to just stop rushing shit and remind them of this quote from Shigeru Miyamoto. A delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad. This is a great quote from the GOAT, and it always rings true because even though Cyberpunk is a great game now, if somebody thinks about or hears about Cyberpunk, their initial thoughts are going to be, goddamn, nigga, that shit was horrible on release. So please, stop rushing these fucking games, bro. Thanks for listening to me bitch and moan for about like 5 or 6 minutes, or however long this video is going to end up being. But yeah, I'm done bitching for the time being. Yeah, like and subscribe, show niggas some love, you know what I'm saying? Fuck capitalism, fuck companies that rush video games, and fuck Todd Howard. Alright, I'm done.